Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Let's go.
Listen, I love Sean Baligian. He's a good friend of mine, but I feel like Sean Baligian today because I feel like, being dressed with a hat and a T-shirt, sweatpants, tennis shoes.
In the winter.
Inappropriate.
In the winter,
Inappropriate. So I want to start the show by apologizing.
That's
to
real
people
man stuff.
for being unprofessional today.
Shep, the chat loves seeing you in a hat.
No,
Shep,
I'm
Shep
telling
is
you.
on his tool
I'm telling you,
right
the
now,
Shep
man.
or the chat loves low key Shep.
I don't. It's not a good look. It's not a professional look. It's my fault. I apologize. Caught me at the gym, but it was fun doing the DMAC show, and I appreciate it very
Came
much.
in clutch today, my friend. We appreciate you.
Well, you guys are always clutch. It's great to have Cam and Kool-Aid and Anson back with us. Forgive us if we start a little sour, just a little sour, because you and I were texting each other back and forth last night. Although I texted you 3 times at the end of the night, you never responded. But anyway,
I had to turn it off.
we both lost. At least I lost my only. You're in 7 leagues, which I think is
Way too much.
borderline obnoxious.
I hate it.
And I lost my fantasy football Super Bowl last night by 8 flipping points. If Matthew Stafford to Puka Nacua counts instead of an offensive holding, I win. If Matthew Stafford hits Smith on the out pattern and he pulls upside the sidelines, I win.
Same.
If Matthew Stafford doesn't throw a pick 6, I'm a little bit closer, okay? When Jared Verse blocked that kick and then took it to the house, I try to stay within my emotions. I was dancing watching that game, but I came up short. I'm not going to let it bother me, but it did hurt for just a period of time.
I'm up a G. I just didn't get the league I wanted.
So there are certain leagues. What was your overall? How many times were you in the championship?
I've been in the championship.
No, this year.
Oh,
Of the
this
7
year,
leagues.
7, I was in 5. I won 2.
You were in 5 Super Bowls. You were Tom Brady in 1 year.
Yep, but I was LeBron
With-
because I went
with the
2
Patriots,
I
I'm
went
sorry.
2 and 3. So I was LeBron.
I love that one.
I mean,
like that.
listen, man. I mean, I'd love to say I'm MJ, but the guy who's been there 4 times and won 4 times, shout out Ryan Koenig, he's MJ. I got the most points in 17 years. I got the most top-end finishes, the best overall record through 17 years, and I'm 2 and 3 in the finals, so I am LeBron. And it crushed me. But shout out to SFX and all you millennials. 4 years. Anson's been in the 4 finals, and he's got 3 rings. No Vaseline. I own you.
Wait a minute.
I'm clipping that and sending it to him today, too.
Did you just go third person?
Oh, yeah, I'll go third person. If 3 rings, I get to go third person.
Can
Shep.
you go third person and use no Vaseline in the same?
Well, that's the name of No Vaseline is the name of my team. It's the name of my team.
Why is that?
Well, because they got
So
it
is
with
that-
no Vaseline.
Hold on, is
as
that-
Ice Cube would say.
Is that the name of every team that you have?
It is the name of all my sleeper teams.
It's the variant.
Okay.
The team that lost to Stick by 1.55 is Brock Bowers Barber.
Okay.
I saw his post about that. He's very, very excited about this win.
Oh,
So,
yeah. He was
shout
so
out-
excited.
shout out
That's
to
all
Stick.
he could think about this morning. He couldn't remember other more important things. Could you, Stick? My other team.
That's an inside joke.
That is, it's not a joke, but it's inside. That's for sure.
You can't say that when your team name is no Vaseline.
And then the Draft Hecklers is our big money league. That's all my old school buddies who are all paid. I'm the poorest of the bunch, but I took their money.
The name of my kids always tell me you should name your team after somebody on your team?
That's a newer thing over the last 10, 15 years. Everybody does it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't think it's a rule?
Well, no, but Stick did win with his new name of Darts and Roses because he switched to
he likes Jackson Dart.
Well, he has him on his team as a rookie. So.
Okay. What do you think the name of my team would be? What would be a good name for my fantasy football team? And I'll tell you what. Go ahead. Say whatever. You can say whatever you want.
The Pigskin Shepherds.
I think that's pretty stupid.
I do too. I wasn't.
It's
got
got to be something Shepherds, though. That's what I was thinking. That's where my brain went.
I named my team Oldie But a Goodie.
That's solid.
My kids were
Now, see,
saying that's really stupid.
Do our listeners know that you were known as Old Shep for 20 years? That's how I came up knowing you.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
For whatever reason, my mind instantly goes to a classic car.
A classic car?
Like straight up, yeah.
For your team name?
No, for the oldie but
Shep.
goodie.
Oh, yeah. With a little, like, Deep Purple lyrics.
Ooh, that's not bad. I wouldn't mind that.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Highway Star. That would be a good one. Highway Star would be an excellent name for a team. I might use that next year if I participate. I don't know if I'm going to participate. I enjoy it. I've only played it for 2 years. All right. So I enjoyed it. I made the playoffs 2 years in a row, which is saying something, I suppose. This year, lost in the championship. It has changed my viewing habits. I am one of those guys who likes to watch football for an entire game.
Yeah.
I have found, since I've been involved in fantasy football, of watching Red Zone only, unless it's the Lions. The Lions I'll watch all the way through. I'm watching start to finish on one network. There you go.
Invested.
Yes. If it's obviously Thursday night, we're only watching that. If it's Sunday night, we're only watching that. Monday night, you understand, right? My frustration with myself is on Sundays. For example, this past Sunday when the Lions aren't playing, I'm watching Red Zone.
I'm not a Red Zone guy.
That surprises me. I would think you would be a Red Zone guy.
My Red Zone is called, Shep, to tell you, in the last 16 years, I've had cable for 1.5 years of those 16.
Okay. So you're a cord cutter. That's fine.
I'm a Stream East guy. And with Stream
Wait,
East.
no, don't say it out loud.
Oh, I'll say it out loud. With
say it
Stream
out loud.
East, I can open up like 3 or 4 different tabs, and I can hop around all those games.
Gotcha.
If you have the NFL Network, which is pricey, you can do the same.
Aren't all the streaming services super pricey, though? I mean, if
Well,
you're going to have...
Stream East is free. It's a pirate site. So that's why he didn't want me to say it on air, but I will always say it on air.
I got you.
Shout out our friends at FanDuel. But no, honestly, the fact that you can't watch any team in this town or any game anywhere without paying all
Who's
this
at the
money.
door? Oh, hi,
is just
FCC. How you doing?
absolutely ridiculous. I can't stand it. But no, I've been listening to Sean Baligian this year. And that was a guy 20, 25 years ago I was on the phone with, texting all the time. Who do I start? Who do I sit? The guy was the
You were
guru.
hooked, yeah.
But hearing him and the peace and tranquility and the solace that he has found in not playing fantasy, you and I were talking before the show, like I have longtime friends that have lost their mind over commissioner rulings, over silly little things, and
Lost their mind, lost their friendship, lost what?
All of the above, brother.
That's pretty sad.
It truly is.
People get that emotional about fantasy football, and you're going to broker a friendship over that?
And that's my thing is it's like, this is my league. I'm the center of the spokes.
And it's hard to run a league, by the way.
It is. You're balancing 11 girlfriends. Well, that's what it is. Okay. They're all girls. When they enter it, they turn into women.
Okay, I didn't say
that. And then they pretend like, I got $100 on the line.
I just want people to know I didn't say that.
No, that was me.
He said it.
That was me.
But hold on. It is a lot of work to be a commissioner. So I respect the hell out of the people who put it together.
Work and emotion. Time and emotion.
Yeah. So I'm a little confused at why people have some type of angst against you unless you ruled against them on a regular basis that benefited you. Hello, David Stern and Chris Paul Frey.
I'm so glad you brought up rigged sports because we talked about this yesterday, and I remembered something from 2016, which Kool-Aid you have there. And I'd first like to bring up this Twitter account.
This the NFL one?
Yes, it is. The NFL is rigged. This 2016, this profile appeared on Twitter. Never have they tweeted again since February 1st, 2016?
Well, maybe they just want to cleanse themselves.
6
since
days before Super Bowl 50. Now, these are time-stamped by Twitter.
Let's see.
Okay? We found evidence that the NFL creates scripts for how some of their games should go.
Right.
Here's what will happen in Super Bowl 50. Now, you're going to read from the bottom up.
Okay.
They break down every single scoring play in this. Now, if you want to show the final one in the Twitter thread there you see final score 24-10. And if you go through all of these different things, now go ahead and bring up Grok or AI's version of the game, the scoring summary, and you will see it's exact. Okay, so how somebody...
So wait a minute. That Twitter account did
6 days.
Before,
6 days.
Before the game.
6 days.
Okay.
And it is permanent. The timestamps are there.
Okay.
And if you go up, here it is. That's the breakdown of the game scoring, and it is exact. So either someone...
Yeah, it's tough for our viewers to really digest that. We would probably have to go over it play-by-play and then reiterate the play-by-play, because just reading it probably doesn't have the same effect. Can you put back up the Twitter account first, please?
Yes, sir.
Put up the Twitter account.
We got
Yeah,
Shepard on this one. I thought he was going to naysay it right away.
No,
I'm going to pull it up.
I think it's interesting. It's not something I'm familiar with, so I'm always open to learning. I think it's really important. Depends on who I'm learning from, but it is important. So I'd like to see that Twitter feed. Will go. How many lines is it?
It's from the bottom up. I think
Okay.
it's probably about 8.
Okay, so 8, not a big deal. All right, so we'll get that going here in a minute. Although
All right.
Kool-Aid just had it. Did you not just have it there?
About to switch to you guys here in a little bit.
Switch, okay.
Kool-Aid's watching Ron Holland highlights.
Zoom.
Yeah, I've known
Okay, here
about
we
this
go.
for some years.
Okay, so first quarter, Broncos with a 34-yard field goal. And
You want the Twitter account or the summary?
Well, this is fine for right now.
Okay,
Then we'll go to
awesome.
the Twitter account. And then Malik Jackson recovered a fumble. So it's field goal, fumble in the first. Folks at home maybe want to write that down. And then in the second, Jonathan Stewart scores. Broncos with a field goal to make it 13-7. Third quarter, another field goal for Denver, 16-7. Then a Carolina field goal to make it 16-10. And then, what's the last fourth quarter score? C.J. Anderson with a 2-yard touchdown from Peyton Manning on the 2-point conversion to Benny Fowler, giving you a 24-10 final.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's bring up the tweets that took place 6 days, allegedly, 6 days before the game kicked off between Denver and Carolina. Caroline, don't look into the light.
So you're going to
It's
read
bright.
you're going
We're
to
gonna read from the bottom,
Yep.
all right? And this is from NFL is rigged, but they took it from NFL_is_scripted, right?
No, so NFL is scripted is the account, and they call it NFL is rigged. Only one day ever. So what is it? 9 years later, they've never tweeted again.
So here's what will happen in Super Bowl 50. Broncos kick a field goal, which they did to start. Denver fumble return for a score, which made it 10-0. Carolina rushed for a touchdown. Broncos hit a field goal. Holy crap. Roll up, because we're reading from the bottom.
Second page.
Second page. And you've got Broncos hitting a field goal. Panthers hitting a field goal. Denver rushing for a touchdown. It did not indicate the 2-point conversion.
But the score.
And a final score, 24-10.
Wild stuff.
Why would they have not tweeted since?
It's a great question. It's a great question.
Has there been more games than this one?
That I know of, somebody exposing it like this beforehand, not that I've come across yet. Who knows? It might be out there, but this has been in the back of my mind for years. And I feel like every single playoff season, somebody brings back up this account. And it's hard to ignore, man.
I agree. How do you stage a fumble return for a score? Like, I get the field goal, getting into field goal range, perhaps. I get perhaps a touchdown and maybe even the 2-point conversion. How do you how would you be able to script what Jared Verse did last night?
See, that's a great question because to me, I believe in the choreographing of games, not actual plays.
Right.
Like, you go into the 04 championship, Pistons versus Lakers. Don't blow the whistle. We want a physical series.
Yeah, that's
or
a little easier.
Blow the whistle. We want a high-flying series.
Yeah, that's a little easier to control.
But this kind of
Football
stuff
is really hard to control.
Man.
I mean, you can throw flags, right, and put teams in positions to do something that you would like scripted, but trying to plan a fumble return for a touchdown,
I mean,
it's really hard, though.
I would be more with you if the wizard Ben Johnson didn't probably reveal a little bit too much of the secret sauce with that stumble bump. That was choreographed. That was planned to perfection. And it was beautiful. So it does make you think just a little bit. If there could be something else that was also a little bit, who knows?
Yeah, but I'm confused at the example. Ben Johnson.
That stumble bump that the Detroit Lions did.
Yeah,
when
it's really well done.
A fake fumble.
But they didn't need the league to do
rolling
that.
on the ground and all that. If they can do that and actually execute a touchdown out of it, I do think that it's possible that they can WWE a player too.
But they don't need the league's approval on that. This requires what he's suggesting, the league in on it. That was strictly Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, and anybody else who was part of it.
Yeah.
This is
We're
more,
just showing the plausibility.
This
that
is
I
more
do
than
think it can
conspiracy
happen.
theory stuff. This is intel inside. This is
CIA stuff.
yeah. I don't know if you guys saw the podcast early. Was it yesterday?
Wait, is that why Shep is in his Tom Cruise fit today?
Hey, Mission Impossible.
Yeah. You don't
Ethan Shepard.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah, right. Yeah. Far from it. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I could see you repel real good.
dog.
Yeah. While screaming. I guess
That visual.
I guess my question though would be, if you guys saw the podcast, I forget which player it was. He used to play for the Patriots, and they talked about Spygate. It was earlier today. Did anybody else see it, or am I the only
On Twitter?
loser? Yeah. Am I the okay?
No, I saw that one.
You did.
Yes.
So they were talking about Spygate, right?
Yep.
That's in-depth, deep stuff that he's revealed over a decade later. It's 2025. We're going on 26. It's been a decade.
And remember,
somebody doesn't say this?
And remember, you said, well, what, all this time and nobody says anything?
Right.
10 years and
Yeah.
money will keep those lips nice and tight, man.
Well, I don't know if he got paid. We don't know that. But he did reveal some things that I think nobody else really knew.
And would it change the punishment back then?
No, I know, because that thing was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, this is wild. And he was talking about Mike McDaniel.
Josh McDaniel.
Josh McDaniel,
Right.
sorry, who wanted to become the Patriots coach later. But
Right.
during this time with the Broncos, he said that they started off hot, and they came through with, like, the game plan. If you do this, as detailed to, as soon as they call hike, sprint to this hash, you turn around, you got to intercept. Yeah. He was like, bro, and when somebody found out that they were, counter styles or spy-gating this stuff, they got in trouble. They couldn't do it no more.
McDaniels got fired.
And he got fired, and they finished that season 8-8. And the funniest thing is how he ended it. He was like, the players were like, man, we knew he wasn't that good.
Our audio tech before Cameron here, Ryan Glinsky, went to Central.
Right.
And his very close friend was tasked with laying out the Central Michigan disguise for one Connor Stallions.
Right.
They actually, people think that people act on their own accord. This is the NFL, NCAA. They're like, come on. These people know what's happening in their programs, and the fact that so many people want to throw this stuff off like it wasn't a big deal. I mean, the Patriots thing was just, it's no big deal. And then 10 years later, you find out there was so much more to it.
Yeah. It's disheartening that you're hearing some of these stories. First of all, I'd like to know, instead of giving these guys gold shields, I'd like to know why the hell you didn't say something right away. And we all know why, right? But this is... Would you not believe this is possibly coincidental?
I mean, hey, we had a guy predict a score here. He won $10,000 first or second year at Woodward Sports. To be able to predict...
Dr. Pierce predicted that too.
But to predict how each one is scored... And then this guy put together this whole thing that should have been 23-10, but he's put 24-10.
Correct. Yeah.
It's wild.
It is. I mean, unless you're looking into the future, man, it's hard not to understand why some people take your point of view. Now, does that, with one example, does that mean everything is clouded for you? I hope not.
Well,
I hope you're not
I
that
told you
jaded.
yesterday everything is clouded, man. I mean, like the whole world is rigged.
Smoke and
So why
mirrors.
would sports not be? The whole world's rigged.
I just think there's too many people to keep quiet. That's all I'm saying. But that does make me very suspicious, especially if it's the way you said it. You know, when you're, it's tough to argue with the timestamp, isn't it?
That's the thing, and
That's
we
what
know
makes it
Twitter
Yeah,
leaves
that's
it,
the
you know.
yeah, that is really crazy.
I was wondering how you'd embrace this one. I'm impressed.
Yeah, and look, you got to keep an open mind towards stuff.
Sure.
I mean,
Learning is key to the day you die.
one boss told me there's no always and nevers. Okay, so I'm not going to say always is it rigged, but I'm not going to say it's never rigged either.
I don't think that Jared Verse play was rigged. I got to be honest.
I don't either.
I wish he would have been stopped at the 10-yard line, Shep.
Why? Oh,
Because
so you
then
could.
Stafford could have thrown a TD.
What the best part of that though is when he looked at the Atlanta sideline and went like this.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. Okay. By the way, that big man was rolling. I mean, you talk about speed. We all look at wide receivers. That's a big man, Jared Verse, and he was picking them up and putting them down. All right, when we come back, we will talk a little bit, I'm sure, about what's going on with the Lions and how they should approach this game against Chicago.
Week 18.
Let's discuss and get your thoughts on it in the chat. Smash that like button here on the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports after this from Ven Johnson and Art and Jakes.
I will get no justice in my fantasy league this year. Zero justice. I should have called Ven Johnson. He would have told me, don't start Taysom Hill. It's a trap. But I didn't, and I should have. I should have gone to venfights.com because he is in your corner. He's got a massive law team. Whether you're battling insurance companies or anything else, you need a fighter in your corner, and that is Ven Johnson Law. Visit them at venfights.com.
You should visit Art and Jakes, too, if you want to watch some really good sports, okay? I don't mean TV. I'm not talking about movies. I'm not talking about sitcoms. I'm talking about sports. We're talking about the Lions this Sunday against the Bears at 4:30. We're talking about Monday Night Football last night. We could be talking about the Pistons later on tonight. The Red Wings tomorrow and their annual New Year's Eve face-off with Winnipeg. Art and Jakes is the place you want to go because it has everything you could possibly want as a sports fan. 6 different locations, but it's all about the 22 draft beers. It's about the 80 TV sets, and it's about that good-looking menu that on Mondays has rib night and on Wednesdays has fajitas and margaritas. It's Art and Jakes, the best there is.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you will. We got
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the only thing that's going to get my mind off of that fantasy loss is hitting the gym, and that's exactly what I will be doing on my way home. There's over 50 Planet Fitness locations in the Metro Detroit area, and I'm hitting one. We're all strong on this planet, so you got to get to Planet Fitness, and you can do that for only $24.99 a month. That allows you access to the Black Card Spa, hydro massage, all kinds of other innovative amenities, and you can bring a friend any time you want for free. Head on over to Planet Fitness.
I think what I'm going to do after doing a double here is maybe have a double shot of Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. That's what I'm going to do when I get home. Real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles. It's clean, it's crisp, it's 100 calories, that's it. It's 4.5% alcohol, and it's a perfect way to just kick back and relax or enjoy watching your favorite football, basketball, baseball, or hockey team play. It's Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Please drink responsibly.
Love that pink lemonade version.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So good.
It's almost scary how good
they
it
are.
is.
They are trouble
Yeah,
because you can't even taste the alcohol, and they're so
Yeah,
damn good,
yeah.
man. They are trouble.
And like I said, it's crisp, it's clean. I mean, I don't need to do the spot over again. It's just really good. All right, I know we'd all like a do-over in the Lions season, but instead you're moving forward. So the topics are going to be vast for Detroit moving forward, but don't kid yourself. They're going to get repetitive, too, on what this team needs to do. So let's just look at this week and this week alone as they get ready to go on to Chicago and play the Bears. What do you do about your starters? So this is a two-pronged question. First, do you think Dan Campbell will play his starters? Second, would you play your starters? So I have my thoughts. Sorry. Somebody in the chat said, Shep sold that vodka ad so well, I believe he's drunk right now. Might be. Sometimes
Pulling the double.
Sometimes I talk that way. So here's what I would do. Not that Dan Campbell's going to ask my advice. I wouldn't play anybody who has had... Now, everybody's been injured, okay? But there's one thing being hurt. Being hurt and being injured are two different things. Penei Sewell has been injured. I wouldn't play him. I would not play Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would not play Jared Goff because, quite honestly, that offensive line, as bad as it is going to get worse if you don't play Penei Sewell, and I'm not going to subject my only quarterback. I don't care if you draft one or not. You're not drafting one highly. So I'm not playing him. And I'm going to give Sione Vaki and Sailors a chance to run the football a little bit. I sit Jahmyr Gibbs. That's on offense. On defense, we all know what happened to Aiden Hutchinson a year ago. He's already got a career high in sacks and forced fumbles. I'm going to give plenty of other guys the opportunity to rush the passer on Sunday. Aleem McNeil has not been himself. I don't know if they rushed him or not. He had one good game. I'm going to sit him. I'm going to sit Jack Campbell and maybe Derek Barnes. And I'm going to see Nowaski out there. I'm going to see Rodriguez out there. I'm going to see as many different types of guys who want to contribute as possibly can. That's what I would do if I were the head coach, knowing that I would get pushback, and I want pushback. I want my players to say, you know what, coach? That's bullcrap. I want to play. I want to be out there with my team. And you know what? That's why you're part of this locker room. That's why you're part of a leadership group. But I'm finding a way to sit you rather than play you.
Yeah, I agree. This is a franchise game. This is no longer a game in 2025 because it's meaningless. And you can come out of there with a win or a loss. Again, meaningless. The only thing that's meaningful at the end of that game is your health, period. You have a lot of guys that you've committed to long-term.
It depends on who you're talking to, but go ahead.
But you mentioned the guys that are going to be there long-term, guys that you've signed and committed to, there's no reason to play them whatsoever. Obviously, some guys like Isaac Tesla is a perfect game to showcase him, see what he truly has as a number 1-2 receiver. I don't even think I'd put J-Mo out there at this point. There's just absolutely nothing to play for.
But you got to have some receivers. You know that, right?
Sure.
I mean, a lot of these...
Todd Kennedy, baby. Let's go, TK.
Yeah, but hold on. These guys are also playing special teams. You can't just have them out there playing 60...
Jack Campbell's out there for special teams.
Yes, and he's out there to play defense for sure, but he doesn't play on every special teams unit. You know what? Tom Kennedy's going to have to run every single offensive play, and he's going to be punt returner, and he's going to be kick returner. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you've got to be.
All Lion fans want to see 60 minutes on TK for years.
You got to be realistic.
Okay, but in all seriousness, I look at this game, and I keep thinking. We talked about it in the post game last Christmas, and there's so much. Machismo at stake between Ben and Dan in this game. But you can get out of that by not playing your starters, by not risking their health.
But you have to play some starters, Anson.
Well,
you can't just back.
Of course, you're going to get some starters. But I'm talking like Jamison Williams. I don't need him to pull a hammy or mess up his Achilles with all that speed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of guys out there that we have just given new contracts to. And considering how bad our health has been for 2 years now, I don't want to risk it for another game. I think that you pull the rug from the big showdown with Ben by not putting out your big-time players. Yes, some starters are going to start. But for me, I think you pack it in. And I know you're going to hear Campbell bitch, you're going to hear Hutch bitch, you're going to hear Goff bitch. You got nothing to bitch about. This is the bed that you made, gentlemen. You got to lay in it. And get ready for damn next year. That's how I see this thing. Now, the second question of whether he's going to do it or not, we'll get there.
Yeah, people in the chat are kind of mixed on this, I think, right now. Chisholm said this, Lions trying to finish 9-8 and winning season with momentum. Personally, I don't think momentum carries over from one season to another. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. I just don't think it happens because every team is different. Each team is unique. Your opponents are unique when you're playing them, where you're playing them, all that other stuff. So I'd be careful of that. But look, 9-8, I think he's got a really good point. It's easy for me, and it's probably easier for you to sit here and say the game has no meaning except for health, and you're not trying to do anything because we're not the one competing out there. We're not the ones who have spent our entire offseason preparing for these games. We haven't spent the entire last 6 months watching film and getting ready for these games. We don't have the emotional tie-in that Jack Campbell may have to saying, I want to kick the living crap out of Caleb Williams and thwart Ben Johnson possibility of feeling good against us.
There's 53 guys in that locker room that want that. You already know.
Yeah, for sure. And there's 48 guys dressed on Sunday who are going to want that too. And if you didn't have a guy like that, as I said during Big D Energy, if you didn't have a guy like that, you don't want him on your team. And you know what? I don't want a coach who thinks that way either. If Dan Campbell goes into the game against Chicago and he says, you know what? Screw it. This game doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to play these guys. I'm not playing them because I don't want them to get hurt. That is not how Dan Campbell thinks.
For sure.
Okay?
For sure.
And that's, if we talk about culture, and we've talked about this all season long. You've talked about it, Braylon, Kool-Aid, Cam. We've all talked about how great the culture has been with this team over the last 3 to 4 years. What is the culture? The culture is doing everything you possibly can to put yourself in a position to win the game every week.
Yeah,
what we're telling them to do, and not just you, me too, what we're telling them to do is, I don't want to give you the best chance to win. What message is that sending to a group of guys who spent 6 months, more than that, getting ready for this? Maybe, just maybe, some of these guys look at it and go, you know what? I didn't like Ben Johnson in the first place. I want to punch him in the frickin' mouth. And I want to make sure his team goes into the postseason on a losing note. I want to sweep them. What if they have incentives in their contracts? Yeah. I don't know if that's the case, but.
Well, and on the other side of your point, what are you telling the fan base if for years you're like, we're all in,
right.
grit,
right?
We're sitting them.
Good
now, there's a few things in the chat here. Man, it just disappeared on me. But one guy's talking about, they want to fight for 9 and 8.
Yeah.
And one thing I've contended for
I literally
some years
just read
now,
that. I just read that. Thanks, Lisa, for listening.
One of the things I've been contending. Oh no, you said that, but my thing is I believe the 9 and 8 that this this franchise, it's very important to finish with a winning record year after year after year. And I've said that when they came in, it wasn't Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah,
It's
you've been consistent
20
with that.
years of playoff winning football. And 9-8, even missing the playoffs, just remember, it was just 3 short seasons ago that we were ecstatic to be 9-8. And yes, we missed the playoffs just barely, but it was a start. If you sit your guys, you go 8-9, that's a start of something different, you know? So I believe there's a lot of different forces pulling on this team. I don't think that he sits many guys. I think there's only a couple.
Culture. He said this. This is what I love about Dan Campbell's phraseology. He said if they're dressed, they're going to play. So that instantly is putting this on those players.
That's right.
And I love the way that he put that. I think that you go into this last game of the season, now you're hearing the players saying, you know what, we get paid, we want to do this thing, blah, 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 blah. Me personally, I'm like, hey, just stay healthy. You don't want to see guys like Penei Sewell after that scare last week. You don't want to see that type of stuff happen, especially in a game that we largely think is meaningless. But they do believe the only team that you're able to sweep in this division this year is the Bears. And I don't necessarily believe in momentum, but I do believe in upper hand. You know, when you beat somebody, that sticks in their mind.
Kool-Aid, let me ask you this. I'm being a hypocrite, okay? I am. I'm going to be fully transparent here. I'm being a hypocrite because I complain when the NBA does load management. I bitch and moan that these guys don't play a full 82 games. I was complaining a couple of years ago when they rested Cade Cunningham, and I think he could have played. And I think all of us agree with that. And they did it for what reason, right? They had their reasons.
Yeah, did that
if I'm going to complain about that, how can I possibly suggest that this team rest some of its players for the final game of the season, knowing who Dan Campbell is and knowing that if, as somebody put in the chat, if you play Kyle Allen, you are losing on purpose. And he writes, "Get over your ego." Or this person,
Shout out Combat Legs.
Get over your ego. I don't know who that's intended for, but that's basically what you're admitting.
Yeah,
he's right about that.
Yeah, he says right after that he's addressing it to, I guess, some of his Lions fans in the chat. He says, "You prideful Lions fans will be the first ones crying if another one of our stars goes down with an injury in a meaningless game."
Yeah, the chat I was looking for was right underneath that 9-8 winning season with momentum was Combat Legs again. If Chiefs sits starters, then why the hell aren't we? So I think
Max Crosby in the Raiders.
But I think that's
he got. I'm sorry to interrupt. He got pushback on that.
He's mad.
Max Crosby's
He wants
pissed.
to play.
And you know what? That's the kind of guy you and I want playing on our team. Am I wrong there?
Talk about it.
Sure.
Okay. He wants to go out. He knows he's one of the highest paid defensive ends. What's the point of him playing? His team's lost 10 in a row. They're headed for the number 1 overall pick. His comment was, "I don't give a blank about the number 1 overall pick. I don't care about any picks." He's right. Put yourself in his position. He gets to sit out, and he's up in a booth, in a suite, or on the sideline, watching his teammates go out there and battle in yet another losing effort. And yet their captain, the guy who wears the C, is not out there.
And he wants to be.
And he wants to be. Think about, so what does he do? He goes out and he says, "I'll show everybody. This is how wrong they are about me. I'm going to go on a trampoline. Hi, honey. I'm going to shoot baskets. Hi, honey. And you're going to look like the idiots because I want to be there." When's the last time, let's be honest here, when's the last time a team played a guy in the last game of the year, I'm talking about in this town, that was quote-unquote meaningless, and he got hurt? Pick any team. I don't care who it is. I mean, we don't say it about baseball. God forbid, I'm not going to pitch Tarek Skubal. Why? The game's meaningless.
Amon-Ra St. Brown last week, when we were down by 2 scores with like a minute left, and they put him in. He got hurt,
but he was hurt earlier in the year.
Well, he's hurt earlier in the year. Yeah. I mean, I get where you're going. And
you would, just so I'm clear, in a game like that, down 2 scores, in which the Lions
with 50 seconds left. That's when it happened. I mean, the guys in here were complaining, and it's one of those things where you're asking for a specific case that I can't exactly.
So as a coach, you would say, "Amon, you're done for the rest of the day. There's 50 seconds left. I'm worried about you turning your ankle."
Man, I mean, you know that they're not going to, but this is that.
But I'm not asking. That's what you would do?
No, you asked for a specific example. Yeah. I gave you one. I don't have one in Week 18, and I know that the Lions They're not going to sit you with 40 seconds left down 2 because they believe in themselves and they believe that they can come back and do it.
Yeah.
I got to go back to this Chiefs thing, though.
Okay.
They are the model, are they not, of the franchise that we want to be?
I would think they're the model of what a lot of teams want to be. Yes.
They're sitting their guys.
Well, Mahomes is hurt.
Well, sure, but
Okay,
they're
he's
sitting
out for
other
the year.
guys. They're sitting their starters tomorrow.
Did they
or
sit
this
them last
weekend.
week?
I believe, they sat a bunch of guys over the weekend. They're sitting even more.
They
this
didn't
next
sit
week.
them last week.
They sat some guys.
Well,
not the full thing.
Yeah,
but I mean, week 18, nothing to play for. We'll see what they sit. And to me, now you're taking cues from the best franchise in the NFL over the last 10 years.
Yeah, I'm not a copycat guy. I'm not going to just because the Chiefs do it doesn't mean that I'm going to do it because we're at different places. They've won 3 Super Bowls.
I don't know.
Okay?
They're probably a good franchise to take some cues from. And we are not really a franchise that should not look to others because we have never succeeded.
Exactly. So don't look to others.
No,
do
we
what
should
you
look
think
to
is
others.
best, okay? The Kansas City Chiefs have won 3 Super Bowls. They have the right to do that.
And
Detroit hasn't done
maybe
anything.
copycat a little bit of what the 3-time Super Bowl champs are doing is all I'm saying.
Okay. Somebody in the chat says Max isn't the coach. Well, Pete Carroll's not going to be the coach either after this year. And Pete Carroll didn't make that decision, by the way. That decision's made by the front office. Combat legs. Who cares what the players think?
Save the players from themselves, he says.
Welcome to the Braylon Edwards
Well,
Show.
he's got a point, though. These guys don't allow them to actually have a stake in this thing. They pay them well
They do.
to play.
Good teams
They're
do.
paying them well to sit as well. It's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You may not like it. I get it.
Well, okay. I look, good teams are captained, piloted, and managed by good leaders and players. Every good coach will tell you the best locker rooms they've ever had are led by players, not by coaches. You set, and you should be concerned about setting, a very dangerous precedent if and when you've got players saying, you know what, I don't want to play today. That can be contagious, and that can be destructive to teams. I'm not saying that's the way it's going to be here because we all say, oh, you got to have the right culture and all that other stuff. What's the culture? Like what's the right culture you want from your team? What do you think has been, I mean, you said this to me yesterday, I believe. You said in your lifetime, Detroit's never had, 4 winning seasons in a row. And they got a chance to do that this year. What's the culture? The culture is play hard, play through the whistle, right? Big, strong, burly, tough, physical, all that other stuff, right? Does this fit their culture? If we're telling them to,
I mean, I get it. I think that there's also a psychological factor to this where if you don't let them come out, they have that Minnesota taste in their mouth all year long. And they go out and watch the backups go and lose to Ben Johnson. That's a difficult pill to swallow all offseason. You go out and you win a game against Ben Johnson, you don't believe in momentum. What does a win against Ben Johnson really do aside from a feather in the cap that, hey, we beat the division champ twice this year? Who cares?
Okay.
I mean, for me, seeing the amount of health issues that this team has had for the last 2 seasons, that's the only thing you're risking is your health.
I get it. I think players care.
Oh,
okay.
We know that they do.
Well, then you can't say who cares. Okay, you're talking from a fan's perspective, and so am I. By the way.
I'm talking
We're
about
talking
from
about
a franchise perspective.
Okay, from a player's perspective, we can't.
I don't want to watch backups on Sunday.
Then you don't watch them. Then you don't have to. Okay, but here's the point. We can't even begin to put our minds where their mind is because of the competitive nature. They're supposed to be different than us, and this is what is supposed to make them different from us. Again, I'll reiterate. You already know what I said I would do, okay? So I'm not necessarily disagreeing with a lot of people in the chat here. I just want people to understand, like when people say Max Crosby's played hurt all season long, they're mad at benching him, so on and so forth. He's played 15 games. He's had 10 sacks. He's had 75 tackles. He's had a pretty good year. He really has. For a crappy team, he's had a pretty good year. He wants to play one more game. I don't understand why people would be upset that he wants to play. Somebody else said, play your starters and see what you get. you're automatically assuming they're going to get hurt, first and foremost.
And I know
they've played all season long. Okay? Yeah. This is the risk you take as a member of the National Football League. We know that, right? So if a guy wants to play and he goes to his coach and says, God damn it, I'm the one I want to play, and his contract is up, you got a chance. Some of these guys, they're the ones who got as much to lose as anybody else, not us. We're sitting here worried about one draft spot, for crying out loud. These guys are the ones who might have a chance at missing paychecks and big-time dollars moving forward. If they're the ones who want to play, why do I have a problem with it?
Well, I don't think that, I mean, we've seen Dan in the past. He's not going to sit people that have the incentives, but I don't see any of the big guys out there that have the incentives. It's more of the middle and second half of the roster guys that have those markers in front of them.
Well, I know some of the players, they talk about the fact that they can help their current teammates be in better position to get new contracts. So there are free agents and such who, if you're playing them with the backup quarterback,
this game is not about
how they look on tape.
But this game is not about paying these players. This game is about the franchise.
Well, I think every game they play is about what you're going to get paid, though.
Agreed.
These guys are playing for the next contract.
For the players, too, and I'm sure that they're going to complain and they're going to want to play. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what's best for the franchise? Mm-hmm. What are the Chiefs doing for their franchise this weekend?
Oh, no. I agree. For me personally, selfishly as a fan, who I'm looking at it from a fan perspective or even from our humbled media perspective, I see it differently than them. I would want to see these guys rest up and get ready for next year. But I know if I was in those trenches, I would want to know that everybody's putting their best foot forward, because it does affect everybody on that team.
How would you feel if you were a leader of this team? I'm just asking this question, all right, because this is where my mind goes. You're Aiden Hutchinson, you're Jared Goff, you're Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are three of your captains. And your captains are like, yeah, I'm good. Okay? That's Brad's thoughts. We're good. Everybody hated it. I'm good. We're going to sit this one out. Have fun, Kyle. Enjoy it, Al-Qaid. Go ahead. Go get him, Narowski. How do you think others would look at them? Would you look at them differently if you were those other players?
I mean, it's a business. If like these players, half the time they love to embrace that it's a business, and then the other half the time they play in their feelings. Oh, I'm just a human. I'm just a human. Yeah. Listen, I manage this network. We tell guys where to be, and that's where they are. Period. And we make a fraction of what these millionaires get paid. I got no fucking sympathy for these people that want to play in Week 18.
So let them play.
I'm over it, man.
So let them play then.
No. The administration makes the decisions for the franchise and the health of the franchise. Whether it's actual health on the field, whether it's health in the box office, whether it's health in the concession stands. The fact is you do what's best for this team in 2026 now.
The administration doesn't make that decision. Okay.
You just told me that it comes down whether they're playing or not. It's not the coach's decision.
Here's the thing. Certain players have a certain say in it. I said that about the Raiders, okay? I was using that as Max Crosby's example, all right? There are certain players who I'm sure every organization recognizes as that leader, and they want them to set a certain standard. That's all.
And Dan Campbell, he does things according to the way I almost feel like he would want it as when he was a player. And that's one thing that you do hear other players remark about Dan Campbell, is that he's in touch with them. Even Carlton Davis, he went on a whole tour talking about the fact that, look, man, this guy was in the league. He gets us. As Darius Smith and other players that are currently here, they speak to that. And that's why I do believe Dan said, look, who's ever dressing is going to play.
So we'd be okay with this mindset. Again, I'm in this, okay? We're not battling here. We're all the same.
But
right?
I get it from the player's
Yeah, so do I. I get it from the player's standpoint, too.
I hear you, Anson.
Here's what we got. Last series of the year, Tigers are out of it. Nobody plays. No big deal. Last homestand of a season for the Pistons, they're out of it. Nobody plays. Everybody's okay with that because I don't want Tobias Harris to turn an ankle. I don't want Jaden Ivey to hurt his knee again. We're okay with that, right? I just want to make sure this is the standard we as fans are setting, because everybody's so worried about these guys getting hurt. We weren't worried about it in Week 16 because they had something to play for. And as Crazy Legs put in the chat, and it's a good point, I know by sitting them, they're definitely not going to get hurt. So it's an excellent point. I just don't think players subscribe to it, and I don't want players who would subscribe to that.
I think the phrase "leave it all on the field" has gotten distorted. You leave it on the field as long as there's something more for you to gain. If there's nothing more for you to gain, then I think you're just taking away from the future or from the path that you should be diverted towards now.
Yeah.
What you were trying to do this year didn't necessarily work, and now it's like, hey, put all focus, all energy into making sure you can meet those expectations next year. And that's kind of where I sit. Now, whatever the players have, I get it. And I think that their mentality from game 0 to end of season is run through every brick wall, and we're soldiers, and we go out there, and this is what we do. Like, this is the mindset. I don't think that they could do it in games 1 through 17,
but we can't say
16
that.
of this year if they didn't have the mindset in this last game, too.
Yeah, you're right. Big Wolf status says, so if Goff tears his knee, what are you going to say then, Shep? I think I've already said I wouldn't play.
He wants him sitting.
Jared Goff, okay? I mean, if you're paying attention, if you're listening, not hearing, if you're listening.
You went through a list of 8 to 10 names that you would say.
I went through guys that I wouldn't play. That's me. But I can. If you can't understand why Jared Goff wants to play,
Jared Goff wants
then
to play.
I'm sure you've been a competitor at some point in your life. Not in fantasy football, but at some point in your life, we've all competed in something, right? I don't care if you're trying to get a girl. I don't care if you're trying to get the first place.
Parking spot.
Parking spot. First string, in football, back in junior high or whatever. We've all competed at something. My hope is that your mindset can at least go back there and try to relate to what these players, why they would want to play. It doesn't mean that I would play them. I'm saying I relate and understand to why they want to play. Because you don't get many games.
Dante 151 with a $5 super chat. Hell, the Falcons could have called it a day last night against Rams.
Well
sit the starters, but they didn't. So whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Dante.
Why'd they play Bijan Robinson? I'm glad they did because he made it really fun for me last night. My gosh, why did they do that? Why does any team who's already out of it play any of their starters? Seriously. Why would any of them play it?
I mean, different philosophies for different teams.
No, I mean, I
think that's what it comes down to. You got different coaches, you got different front office people that have different priorities and different goals for the next year. I mean, there's some people that are just trying to get people into their stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a home game for the Lions, so you don't have any incentive to keep the fans at home happy by putting your starters out. At this
Should
point,
the Bears play their starters?
I mean, they're playing for something.
Yeah, they're playing for the
2
seed.
Yeah,
but they're already in the playoffs. You can make
I mean, I think that they are, and I think that the fact that they lost to the Lions in week 2, I think that there's a lot on, at stake for Ben in terms of bragging rights. He doesn't just want the division; he wants a win over the Lions.
How would you feel if, again, this is a little this is a little hyperbolic, but how would you feel if an athlete, I don't care who it is, comes out and says, "I really don't want to play today"? Well, why not? I'm worried about getting hurt. How would you feel about that?
You mean bowl season in NCAA?
I'm just saying in general.
Well,
an athlete admitted, why were you held out? Yeah. I was held out because I didn't want to play. I didn't want to get hurt.
But we have an example of that every year with the bowl season.
But
those guys pull out, and what do they get? They get all hell from the fan base.
Yeah.
However, there are some people like Braylon that's going to say, hey, he's got to protect himself. He's got to go get his payday.
It's a good point.
So, but he's also leaving that team. He's not coming back next year. He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to face.
Room.
He doesn't have to face that locker room. Doesn't have to face that coaching
Big
staff,
difference.
and he sure doesn't have to face that fan base.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a few examples, and you're sure that there's been a couple of guys that have said, "I'm not playing because I don't want to get hurt." But it's never been well received by anyone.
But you did say something interesting there about Ben Johnson, the Bears, and they're playing for something. And when you're playing for something, I do believe it matters that much more the team that's across you.
55-22.
It can ramp it up just a little bit more. Yes. And this is where, because you got that whole no Vaseline name for your fantasy team. This is different. This is your rival. This is your NFC North. Do you just lay down and take a 50 burger when you know Dan Campbell, the competitor, knows this guy is trying to house us? And I wonder, how much. I wonder how much that matters, knowing we have to line up anyway. We're gonna have to go out there. Like sometimes I do. I wonder how much that kicks around in the back of their heads. Man.
You know it's kicking around. It's a great point right there, man. You know they're kicking that around.
Goodness.
Let's see. Let the starters play. Shep wants an IR list longer than a CVS receipt.
They are long.
Again, I believe I gave you roughly 8 names that I wouldn't play. But I hope you understand this, and I think you do. and if you don't, then you haven't followed football very long. You're gonna have to play some starters. I'm sorry. You can't play every backup at every position on both sides of the ball and those guys playing special teams. Yeah. It's just not enough, okay? So you're going to have to play some starters.
Man, that's such a slippery slope because then it's like you play some starters. Is it fair to not play the ones that can help change the tide in the game?
Right.
If I'm one of the starters, I'm like, well, why ain't he playing? I don't know. I get that, man. If you're going to play, go out there and give it your best foot forward. And I'm going to continue to say, you know what, kudos to Dan. I'm about to say Dan Gamble. Dan Campbell for throwing out that gauntlet, though. Effectively saying, who's dressed, we will go to battle.
From AC 1058, Shep says they can heal any last game injuries in the offseason. LOL. Not sure I said that.
I see what the chat's doing.
Can you
I need more of these
rewind
that? Tell me what else Shep is saying.
Tell me what else I've said that I haven't said. That we can play that game. All right, got to take a quick time out, man. That's been 1 hour. That was
quick.
Unbelievable. Wow. We're back with more right after this on the Braylon Edwards Show here on Woodward Sports. How about something from Smoothie King that sounds really good tasting right now?
No doubt about it, man. And it is really, really good. We're very blessed to have this partnership. Love when Smoothie King comes in. They're in actually every Friday. You see that QR code there? Give it a scan and nominate an athlete near you to be the next Smoothie King High School Athlete of the Week. They'll get all hooked up, but you can get hooked up too when you head over to Smoothie King. They got real food and protein options that actually help you feel good before or after a workout. So stop by before the gym, after the gym, or anytime otherwise. Fuel smarter this winter. Download the Healthy Rewards app and find your go-to blend at smoothieking.com.
We love partnerships with local members of our community. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning is just that. That's a reason they fit perfectly with Woodward Sports. They're proudly serving Metro Detroit for over 40 years. Reliable service, helping keep your home warm in the wintertime, cool in the summertime. DT guest customers, you guys get a free furnace tune-up for just a couple more days. Schedule your appointment today. You can go to their website, sharonsheating.com, or call them today, 734-238-3805, and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
What's up, y'all? I have been here for 4 weeks now. And I have since used that massage chair probably a dozen times. And no joke, every single time that thing has cracked my back. So if you are looking to upgrade your relaxation game, check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It is the largest massage chair room in the Midwest with top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki, just like we have in the studio here. Located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road, experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Times about players who want to play. Well, Amon-Ra St. Brown always wants to play, also wants to do good in the community too. I mean, here's a guy who doesn't have to do what he does, but he does what he says. He walks the walk after talking the talk. His foundation is incredible, quite honestly. Got a good, really good relationship with our leadership here at Woodward Sports, and the two have combined, along with Lady Jane's and Wicked Awesome Wishes, to host a main event for Amon-Ra St. Brown's Foundation. On January 5th, from 4 o'clock until 7 o'clock, children will be here. Those children who are facing life-altering challenges and illnesses, but will bring a smile to your face and put everything in perspective for you, because that's their spirit. You can be a little contagious with that spirit. That's why we want you to help us celebrate a night of joy and unforgettable memories for these children. It's a special dinner, fun activities. They get to dye their hair right out there, Lady Jane's blue, much like Amon-Ra St. Brown has done in the past. There's going to be fun activities with crafts and things of that nature. So tune into Woodward Sports live Monday, January 5th. That's next Monday. We're going to share and support this amazing cause, and you can be part of it. How? Easy. 2 websites, the stbrownfoundation.org or wickedawesomewishes.org.
Shep, I want to hit a couple super chats here. Shep.
Go right ahead.
There we go.
There we go. I can hear you.
Okay,
I can hear you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shep, I want to hit this Labartney chat here. Shout out for 1 hour of legit discussion, and welcome back, KG. $5 super chat. Now, Jason Kenyon says one here. I know we're probably not going to stay on this topic too much longer, but I think the guys will want to play and beat Ben, he says. Mm-hmm. Think back to a couple years ago when we missed the playoffs. Had the Packers that night and beat them because rivalries matter that much. I don't think that Dan will be able to get away from the rivalry with Ben this weekend.
Yeah, I don't think
we'll
so
see
either.
largely most guys start.
Do you guys ever go into anything? I don't care if you're playing pool, darts, pickleball at Wicked Pickle next week. Do you go into anything thinking you're going to lose? I hope not. I mean, I don't. I mean,
Nah.
Maybe Kool-Aid when he's playing his kids in basketball.
No mercy.
Like he did.
Hell no mercy.
Shouldn't give him any mercy. I wouldn't give him any mercy. Make them beat you, okay? That's good.
it.
No crying. Beat me, all right? I know you're only 4, but I want you to beat me.
How you get good.
So the point is, with these people who thinks, suddenly this team wants to beat the Bears because it's Ben Johnson, I think you're dead on. I think they want to win too. I think they want to win every time they play. The question that Anson has posed, and it's a fair one, is what's right for the franchise? I'm not disagreeing with you one bit. I just think if people aren't putting themselves in the player's perspective and understanding that, then I think they're missing kind of what I'm saying. I totally respect professional athletes who want to play. And I also want the guys who are going to give me 100%. So I can't sit there and talk out of both sides of my mouth and sit there and say, you know what, I can't stand this load management and all this other stuff, and then say, well, I want these guys to sit. If they want to play, they have the right to play. How Dan Campbell handles it, that's up to him moving forward.
What's your gut feeling before we move on?
I think they're going to be very cautious. If there is a hint of injury, they will rest, and you can fall back on that. It's going to be really hard for him to rest Jared Goff. I don't need to remind him of this. This is smothering him in the face. But if Jared Goff is struggling to stay afloat behind this makeshift offensive line, and Penei Sewell doesn't play, or Taylor Decker doesn't play, I sure as hell wouldn't succumb him to any possible big hits by the Chicago Bears defense with third stringers and guys who aren't as comfortable with the positions you're about to put them in.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
that's going to be a hard thing for him to do.
I think most of the guys will be out there. It would be interesting to see if the game got out of hand, if he started pulling guys late third, early fourth. But I really believe, I think that I think it's a great point. 4 years ago, this team wanted nothing more than to end Aaron Rodgers' run in Green Bay with a loss. This feels super similar. This is another heated rivalry between, a mentor and his guy underneath him. And at this point, it would be shocking to me to see any less than 85% of the starters out there.
I agree. The Skim Mass Boy says, Red Wings play tonight? No, they play tomorrow. They play against Winnipeg at Little Caesars. All right? So it's their annual New Year's Eve game, which I think is really cool.
You ever been to Winnipeg?
I have been to Winnipeg.
What's that like?
Well, I used to call the International Hockey League the Detroit Vipers for a number of years.
Miroslav Shatan, right?
Sure. And we went to
I know hockey.
We went to the Manitoba Moose, which is in Winnipeg. And I'll never forget being on the bus in the dead of winter, freezing. This dude's riding his bike to work in the snow and slush, and it was heavy snow too.
They built different up there.
Yeah, it's the packing snow, the kind you make snowmen with. And
Had
you
like
have good
3
snowballs.
inches of snow on his tire.
Yeah. And I'm looking out the bus on the way to the morning skate. I'm thinking, what is this guy doing? He doesn't have a car. He didn't have a truck for this. It's a unique place. I couldn't live there. I didn't mind going in there for a road trip, but I couldn't live there.
Yeah. I always think of the Office road or the episode where he goes on the business trip to
Winnipeg. Yeah,
it's like, it was terrible.
It would take some getting used. That's for sure.
Shout out to
They
Cousin
say that
Mo's.
about Detroit, but they just don't know.
No, they shouldn't say that about Detroit.
They don't know.
The people make it easy to get used to, I think, in Detroit.
No doubt.
Eventually, this is going to get really old. It's probably going to happen at least once a week on every show here on Woodward Sports. Mock drafts. I know. You're shaking your head, I know. But I couldn't help but laugh because earlier this morning, I saw a mock draft from The Athletic. And I'm not going to even get into
mock draft season.
Yeah, who the Lions are going to take, but it's the left tackle out of Miami who will play this weekend. Thank you. Francis, how do you say it? Mwigwa? Anyway, he's the left tackle. The reason I'm laughing is because the first pick they have going to the Las Vegas Raiders, and they haven't taken Dante Moore, the Detroiter, the kid out of Martin Luther King, plays for Oregon, okay? The second pick they have going to Cleveland. They haven't taken Fernando Mendoza. They just used 2 capital picks on quarterback. That is something else, isn't it? All right, I wanted to dive into this really quick because we briefly touched on it the other day. Tom Izzo has come out and said some strong things about the NCAA, and I say kudos to you, Tom. Way to lead the way. People have followed. John Calipari has said something. Mark Few has said something. Matt Painter has said something. There's a lot of people jumping into the fray, taking their shots at the NCAA and the lack of leadership. Here's my question. If Tom Izzo is that leader we all know him to be, and you would think the strength in the voice of a guy like Calipari and a guy like Few and a guy like Matt Painter and a guy like Kelvin Sampson, who's also done it, how come they're not leading a change in the NCAA?
Well, again, we talked about it yesterday. I think that these guys need to come together, and they need to put pressure on the NCAA to, I don't want to say a point, because I think that they kind of need to do it themselves, but I guess accept and I'm struggling for the exact word, but they need to recognize a body of coaches, long-term, successful, high-end coaches, vet coaches, that become a sounding board for them for NIL and for the future of NCAA athletics. They need one for football. They need one for basketball. They need one for all sports. But when you're just listening to the NCAA, an organization that's clearly out for money, you're talking about them trying to talk to these kids that are making the money. And it's the coaches that are in between. that are dealing with the problems on an everyday basis that NIL has brought into the NCAA.
Yeah.
You can't just have these guys talking about it. You can't have them agreeing on online and in chats and things like that, streams or podcasts. You need them to come together and actually put together some sort of arbitrational body of coaches that helps the NCAA bridge the gap between them and these players, because the players do deserve to get paid, but the system is out of control. And I think that the only people that can bring it back together are respected coaches, like the ones you named.
This is a good quote, because Tom Izzo says, shame on the NCAA, shame on the coaches too. So he's putting his group in there. We all know where this is headed, though, right? I hope. You know this is headed toward complete separation from the school. And we all know that it's going to be a collective bargaining. There is, within the next, how many years would you say? 3 years, there will be unionization in college athletics. Remember when Northwestern tried it years ago, and it got shot down, and people were laughing at it to a certain extent? They were right.
They're desperate for it now.
Yeah, now they're desperate for it. And you know what collective bargaining agreement leads to, right? It leads to strikes. That's what's going to happen.
You will union-type behavior. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
As long as we're prepared. I'm just trying to tell people this is the preparation. I called this 15, 20 years ago that the wild, wild west was going to take flight in college athletics. I didn't think it would ever be this bad. I never thought in college basketball we'd try to be tracking down somebody's bio because they were actually in the summer league in the NBA.
And I'm okay with, obviously, players receiving something on their likeness and their name and their image, but in terms
It's
of
not what it is anymore.
This is just a little too weird, man.
It's getting so stuffy in the NCAA. They needed to crack a window, but they opened all the windows and left all the doors wide open.
You're right, yeah.
And you ease into it. It's like I tell my friends that take drugs. You can always take more. Don't do it all at once.
You know, the problem with this NCAA thing, too, is there's different rules for European players than there are for players in America.
True that.
So
yep, they can be pro overseas and still play college.
There's absolutely what blows my mind more than anything else is how nobody in the NCAA saw this coming. How do you not have the foresight to know what is coming? Anytime you go into a situation, do you not think of, okay, what's the downside here? What could be the long-term problems, and how am I going to solve those problems?
Maybe we find out a couple years down the line that the NCAA was taking 20% of all NIL deals. Because your question is a great one. I don't understand how they didn't slowly roll this out. Mm-hmm. They literally just opened everything up wide open and said, we'll deal with the consequences 5-10 years down the road. We'll just see how it goes.
I do want to start tracking the Ansonisms. I do. Because I swear, like, if we will find out what years from now the NCAA is funneling that money. Huh?
A receipts.
Rando says, I know guys in Michigan that ride their Harley year round. Rondo, I do too, but my point was this was a bike. This is not a motorcycle. And I mean, this was a 2-wheel Schwinn-like bike in Manitoba. The Browns will take Mendoza and trade for Kirk Cousins. Oh, my goodness, if that's the case. I'm looking at mock drafts, too. I know it's too soon. The Lions can't fix this mess in the draft. Free agents and trades. So I'm assuming that Gronmit0237 is saying they can't fix this mess in the draft. It's a full stop. They need free agents and trades. Well, they have not done a very good job, or they haven't. Let me rephrase that. They have not been aggressive with free agents under Brad Holmes.
Well, that's not true. They've been very aggressive with off-injured free agents.
They're well. Think about this.
Emmanuel Mosley, what a 3-time signing he was.
Listen,
bring him back again.
You can make fun of that, but I guess I'll look at Kevin Zeitler, David Montgomery. I think those were good free agent signings. At the time, everybody thought DJ Reed was a good free agent signing.
It was for a year.
I would say Roy Lopez has been a pretty good free agent signing. DJ Reader was a year ago. He's not an offer. Now, I'm not saying he's hitting home runs on every swing, but he's not an offer either. Somebody said you got to look at center. Okay, well, I mean, this is not unique to this program, and it's not unique to Woodward Sports either. But my guess is Detroit should at least consider Tyler Linderbaum. Okay, from Baltimore. He'll be the elite center out there.
Take him.
Well, how much would you pay him? So KG asked me this
everything,
earlier.
man. No.
You'd pay him everything?
When you understand that this running game suffered, superstar Jahmyr Gibbs, right, suffered.
Yep.
Jared Goff suffered. The passing attack suffered. It was no longer the controller of the time of possession. That's where that offensive line, I think the value and the premium just went up a little bit more. I really do.
Frank Ragnow made $13.5 million in his last season. I think I looked it up earlier. Yeah, Linderbaum is making a little bit more than $4 million. Okay, how much do you think he's going to get on the market? The highest paid, I think, is Creed Humphrey from Kansas City at $18.5 million.
I mean, I'd say 12 to 13, probably there.
Oh, I think he's going to make more than that. Cam Jurgens signed an extension with Philadelphia. He's making close to $18 million.
Wow. Yeah, so north of 15. Freddie Felt 313. I want Linderbaum at center in free agency and David Bailey edge, Texas Tech in the first round of the NFL draft.
Hello.
This year
that sounds great.
It's super deep in edge rushers this year. That
So,
will make me
can I
feel
ask this
somewhat
question?
better about next season, he says.
Fair enough. If it's deep, would you go there or would you go tackle? Right. Or O-line. Now, you guys know me. I don't draft based on needs. I draft on best player. And I think you get in trouble if you start chasing.
Free agency is for needs.
Free agent. Thank you.
I love that philosophy.
Yep.
That's it there. You go for your potential, a high potential in the draft, and you go out there where you know you can get experienced players in the offseason.
Pistons are doing that pretty well.
I would say this, too. If the only caveat I have to my draft philosophy, I'm in a draft boardroom, is if I've got a need and I've got a best player at that position of need, this close to my top, and the other player I have just slightly above him, I wouldn't be afraid to go for the need. Okay? All I would say, and I think Brad Holmes has done a really good job of this in the first round, you better get starters in your first and your second, and I hope your third rounds. He's been terrible in the second round. He's been really good in the first round.
Since Brian Branch, he's largely been bad.
I think that let them down this year. You think about the fact that all of this has been pinned on the players that they've drafted being the dudes.
Or the backups. Enos Rakestraw should be a contributor to this team.
Dude.
If he's not good enough to play as a starter, he should be in there when guys are getting hurt. And he's not. That's a problem. Right?
I never even seen the guy. I mean, I've seen him in college, but come on, man.
He was in a game and hurt his shoulder. I think
preseason, right?
Preseason.
You want to have a fun game? Ask people what number he is. That ought to tell you something. He's number 9.
Yeah,
not that 9.
Of course,
not that 9. Yeah, all 9s. Yeah, no kidding. All right, quick time out and back with more here on the Braylon Edwards Show after this from Les Stanford and Jack's Car Wash. Today would be a good time to get your car washed at Jack's. It'd be a really good time too, just before the calendar turns, to go see Les Stanford. I don't care if it's at their Cadillac dealership, their Buick, GMC, or their Chevy dealership. They all got great people with incredible inventory and great deals, as you can see right there. That's 2026 Silverado, $189 plus tax. The XT6, $359 plus tax. The Buick Enclave, $299 plus tax. That's only at Les Stanford, lesstanford.com.
Jack's Car Wash here in Michigan, they are the salt defenders, because your car is covered in salt right now. You need to wash it off. You can do that for free if you text WSN to 888-522-1729. Then head on over to one of the 40-plus locations around Michigan. They got free vacuums, free compressed air, free mat cleaning rooms. 8 of those locations have the all-encompassing interior detailing rooms. And then, of course, they got the personal hand towel drying service at the end. So bring a few bucks to tip those guys, but you don't have to pay for that car wash. Just text WSN, again, to 888-822-1729.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
You guys know Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine is a legend around Woodward, and you can catch him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday here with Braylon Edwards and Shep. Listen, he is the guy who shares the top-tier advice to keep athletes in peak condition. He did it for Braylon. He did it for DMAC. You should trust him too. Head on over to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or give him a call, 248-426-9944, or make it real easy and just snap a picture of that QR code.
I'm gonna, no secret, man. I really like Buddy's Pizza.
Yes, he does.
I think it's fantastic. I really wanted them earlier today. I was actually out there shamelessly asking for one. If somebody would go get one, please. Didn't find any takers, so I'm still hungry for a Buddy's Pizza, and you can understand why. You've had them, right? I mean, it is the original Detroit-style pizza, Buddy's Pizza, 22 locations in Metro Detroit, and right now they've got exactly what you're looking for. I know the holiday is over, but the new year is about to ring in. So if you want to have a party, it's a good time to have a party. It's a good time to cater with Buddy's Pizza. Go to buddyspizza.com and find out why.
And we back.
Last night, you and I talked a little bit about it earlier. Rams losing to the Falcons it's incredible. Maybe Matthew Stafford blew his opportunity to be the MVP. You can understand why. Although they've beaten 3 teams, I think it is, above 500. New England's beaten 1.
If he wins that game, we're not even talking about it.
You're right. If he comes back from 21-0 down to win that game, we are not talking about it. 3 picks is not good. His
Impressive picks.
Yeah. His numbers are still better than Drake May's. Okay. Career high in touchdowns. Who knows what's going to happen next week against Arizona? You would think he'd play, and he would add to it. Bijan Robinson, who I absolutely loved him in Texas and think he's a fantastic player. You could make the argument he's the best running back in the league. You and I didn't we have a brief conversation yesterday? Okay, on this.
I got a little something for you on that.
So he is the single season record holder for the Atlanta Falcons, which is saying a little something, I suppose. But 2,255 yards from scrimmage. And he is the NFL all-time record holder for total yards leader under the age of 24.
You got that graphic?
5,000
three backs.
5,585 total yards from scrimmage. And he's only 23.
I got something that's going to help your conversation.
He is
really
probably the best running back in the National Football League. Probably. Now, it's debatable. I'm just saying.
It's between him and the other guy in the middle here. If we can zoom back off of that a little bit. We had this conversation yesterday. I kind of haphazardly threw McCaffrey into that top 3 conversation. I certainly think that he's top 5 through his career thus far.
That's really
3
impressive.
very impressive running backs right there.
Yeah. This is McCaffrey through his first number of years, same with Bijan Robinson. So this is apples to apples.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. And
I like that.
Yeah, and McCaffrey, as everybody knows, is one of 3 running backs in history to have 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving the same season. The others are Roger Craig, you know that, the former 49er, and Marshall Faulk. McCaffrey has a ways to go to try and duplicate that, and it would be in a 17-game season, so there might be a little bit of an asterisk there. He needs 110 receiving yards to do that for a second time in his career. I don't disagree with you. I think he's a phenomenal player. I don't think he gets probably enough credit, to be honest with you. He's everything you want in a running back. He blocks well. He's fast. He's shifty. He's got great vision, great hands, hits the hole, sets up his blockers. He does everything you could possibly want. With that said, I think Bijan Robinson, though, right now, is probably the best in the league. And that includes Jahmyr Gibbs, and I'm not saying that for effect, and I'm not saying that to piss people off and generate any type of momentum in the chat. I've felt that way about Bijan Robinson all season long, and I think last night, not that he necessarily proved it, but this season I think he proved it with what he's done.
Where is Jahmyr Gibbs after a full game of 25 touches a game? I'm not sure that he could withstand what Bijan gets put through. Bijan can do everything. There's some limitations to Gibbs'
As
game.
can Gibbs. Gibbs can do everything.
I'm not running him up the middle a lot.
Yeah.
I think you can do that with Bijan with no worries.
He's better
I think
between
that
the tackles.
He might be a little more electric than Bijan. He might have a little bit of a higher top gear. But if I only have one running back and I have to go my whole season on, I'm taking Bijan over Jahmyr. If I have the 1-2 punch, man, Jahmyr works perfectly in that situation.
Yeah, somebody brought that up earlier with me today, and they said, look, Jahmyr Gibbs has to share time with David Montgomery. And I said, well, wait a minute. Algiers shares time. Robinson shares time with Algiers.
1,000-yard rusher his rookie season.
And Algiers has got, I think, like 130 carries, and David Montgomery's got like 150. They're not that far off, is my point. It's fun to squabble about something like this because both are elite players at their positions. On the other hand, it's okay to admit if your guy isn't quite as good as that guy or even that guy either. Now, I don't know if they're in the MVP conversation because it's become a quarterback award. So it's Matthew Stafford and probably Drake May. But these two guys are electrifying to watch. Absolutely cannot take your eyes off the football field when those guys are on the field. And what I think what makes them both super special, and maybe the Lions implement a little bit more of this with Jahmyr Gibbs moving forward next year specifically into that passing game, but I don't think the Niners have Detroit's receivers. I think Atlanta does. But Atlanta doesn't have Detroit's quarterback either, at least not now, starting them. I think if you can incorporate Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more into it, where these guys are literally, in the passing game, number one options, whereas Detroit, I never feel like Gibbs is a number one option. You see where I'm going with that? Yeah. Okay.
No doubt about it. I mean, the whole of the offense runs through Bijan in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
They got Drake London, and we've even seen the reemergence of Kyle Pitts, but it's pick your poison with the Lions when they're healthy. You got Laporta out there, you got a full healthy, salvo of wide receivers, and you're not going to ever see the amount of, usage that Gibbs would need in order to really be put on this same platform as these guys. I don't think that he's built that way or they'll ever use him that way, and that's great. Because you look at guys like Aaron Jones and others that are receiving backs that were always supplemented with a complimentary back, and they're getting signed into their third contract.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, they're lucky to get that second contract as running backs.
I love, if you're the NFL, there's a lot of things to love about what's going on this season. That is the fact that you've got at least 2 games that are still up for division grabs, right? The Steelers and the Ravens in Pittsburgh this weekend. They flexed it to a Sunday night game. Whoever wins that game wins the AFC North. And, of course, Carolina taking on Tampa in Tampa, and the winner there gets the NFC South. But you've got a 23-year-old like Bijan Robinson making that type of history, and you got a 23-year-old in Drake May who's in the MVP conversation in one of your bigger markets.
Yeah. Which quarterbacks that have come into this league in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it really is. Did you hear what May said on Boston radio the other day? They were asking him if he deserves to be the MVP. He quickly pivoted, and remember, He leads the league in passer rating, completion percentage, QBR, yards.
But not 300-yard games.
Correct. He only has one of those. He has 30 touchdowns, 8 picks, I think is what it is. Anyway, he quickly pivoted. He started talking about Jaylen Brown and how Jaylen Brown should be in the MVP conversation in the NBA. It was a brilliant move by a young guy. And it got me thinking about what we were talking about yesterday, and that is, the top 5 names in the NBA for MVP, and Jaylen Brown has not been mentioned, from what I can tell. One guy who was mentioned, and prominently so, and for good reason, I gave you a lot of reasons yesterday, was Nikola Jokic. He got hurt last night.
Yes, he did.
He's going to be out for a month, 4 weeks, month or so. At least that's what Doc's told us, Dr. Jeffrey Pierce earlier today. With that said, does that open the door a little bit wider for a guy like Cade Cunningham, or somebody who maybe we weren't thinking about before the Jokic injury, and somebody else sneaking in there like a Jaylen Brown?
I think it certainly does. SGA winning it last year, that team's kind of on pace to do something similar, which will allow the voters to look elsewhere. That's just how the NBA is, whether it's correct or not. Shep, don't give me a hard time on that one. With him missing a month and the numbers at the end of the season, I'd be hard-pressed to give the award to anybody but SGA. But
really?
Just because of where that team's going to finish and the numbers that he puts up. But that being said, they don't like giving that award back-to-back years to the same guy. I think with Nikola being down for a month where it hurts his numbers, and that team is going to slide. They were up 2 last night. Then they're down 17 to Miami the moment he leaves the floor.
Yeah.
So you're going to see that team struggle. You're going to see them probably slip down to about the 4 seed after the next month. Mm-hmm. And what that will do is open up the conversation for guys like Brunson and guys like Cade Cunningham and guys like Tyrese Maxey, if he can continue to keep, the Sixers in the top 5 of the East. And then, of course, the alien Wembanyama, if those guys continue to play the way that they have. They've swept through 3 games OKC. So I think that what this does is on the league to say we're going to give a guy an MVP 2 years in a row.
Well, what I find interesting there is the guy you omitted, because you brought up Maxey, you brought up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which
I'm not bringing up Luka. Not with the way. That's
not where I was going.
Okay.
You didn't bring up Jaylen Brown, who's 4th in the league in scoring.
I didn't bring him up. No.
Yeah, and I wonder why, and I haven't either. Okay, so this is again not on you. Why aren't we doing that?
Because they're the 5 or 6 seed. The NBA favors top 2, top
40
teams.
Quite honestly, they're the 3 seed right now.
Oh, are they? They've snuck up in the last week?
It'd be the, correct me if I'm wrong here, Kool-Aid, it's the Pistons, Knicks, and Celtics.
To me, I've been telling everybody, you're going to see Jason Tatum on the floor at the end of this season.
Okay, well.
And that team is so dangerous in the playoffs, I would not be shocked to see an OKC Boston Celtics final.
Yeah, and the guy who's leading them right now with 30 points a game, am I right? Are they not 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At 30 points a game is Jaylen Brown.
The smartest man in all of sports.
I think that dude's an absolute monster.
I love him. I'm a huge fan.
Okay. All right. So we're on the same page. I love him
You know
too.
he was the youngest man to ever teach a class at Harvard.
No, I didn't.
He worked
Teaching
for
at
NASA.
Harvard doesn't really impress
He worked
me.
for no. His resume, he is the most brilliant man in all of sports.
Okay. All right.
His resume is pretty
Other than
impressive.
Cade.
Yeah, other than Cade, right. Teaching at Harvard doesn't impress me anymore. Anyway.
The youngest to ever teach at Harvard.
Okay.
Cade's teaching people right in the middle of Detroit, man.
That's right.
That reverse spin, that quick double cross, that mid-range. Come on, man.
I think it's a really good debate. I would say this. What did Charles Barkley say recently about Nikola Jokic? There is no team who relies on one player more than Denver relies on Nikola Jokic.
I mean, listen.
And says they might win 15 games if they didn't have him.
Oh, yeah. I'm an OKC guy, but I still thought that the Joker should have won it last year.
Oh.
When you look at his statistics, I mean, I will
if you're
say this.
objectionable, if you can be objective, you know he's the best player in the world.
I mean, and then some.
Okay.
Now, I will say this. Defensively, he's not premier by any means. He's maybe average.
Yeah, you're right.
And SGA is one of the premier on-ball defenders. The fact that they ended up with the number 1 seed last year, that's what the NBA rewards.
Sure.
So,
he also has other guys who defend pretty good.
That
Williams
whole
is really
team,
good.
15
Holmgren's pretty
guys
good.
defend on
yeah,
that team.
I was going to say
No
that
doubt.
is a conscious effort on the part of them, and I give them kudos for that. It helps to be a really good defender when you have other really good defenders.
Oh yeah. I mean those guys. I think him and Jalen Williams are top 4 in defensive rating, and it's because all 15 guys defend.
And the Pistons, I believe, are number 2 in defensive rating as a team. Only OKC is better. There's your first fan return in the NBA All-Star voting, all right? Look, I hate to put it this way. The All-Star games are a joke. It's just a popularity contest, all right? So I get why people love Luka Doncic, but it's about name recognition, and this is the thing that has bothered me in the past, all right? The thing that has bothered me the most is when you've got a Detroiter, and yes, I'm gonna be mean here and I'm gonna be selfish, but when you got a Detroiter who is this good, I guess I can't quibble with him being in the 4 spot, but my goodness.
What's up with Maxey in the 2 spot?
Well,
I know he's having a good season.
He's having a really good season. Come on.
Kool-Aid is carrying a lot more of the. I would not put Tyrese Maxey above Jalen Brunson.
Maxey is the number 4 overall ranked player in 9 category efficiency stats. Well, of course you never will, bro. But he's having a better season right now.
I mean, you can't speak objectively when it comes to Cade Cunningham.
Cannot.
I can't.
No,
you can't.
No, you can't. I love you, buddy, but you cannot at all.
Yes,
you are.
No, you can't.
You are not capable.
Can, and the stats back it up.
No, you're not capable.
No, you can't do that, and that's okay.
I love you, pal, but you are absolutely incapable.
He has less help than Tyrese Maxey, and that's verifiable. I just think people don't really want to have the conversation. I don't have a problem with the things I will be slappy about, more so with the Lions, but with basketball, I love the game. Cade Cunningham gives an opportunity to be able to talk about the precipice he's on. When I told people he would become an all-star and all-NBA on that rookie contract, people say you're being a slappy. No, you look at the game, you look at the tape.
We're not even referencing that. We're talking about if
I'm
you
just
can't.
like it is. The guy has more help. Tyrese Maxey's a fine player. I think he deserves to be an all-star. I don't think he's carrying the weight that Jalen Brunson and Cade.
Who's the help that Tyrese Maxey gets compared to Cade Cunningham?
Well, now obviously we got an Embiid that stays hobbled.
He plays in a wheelchair, so that's enough. I'm talking about his team. Who's good on his team?
And they're 16 and 14. When Cade Cunningham was in those types of positions, we were told win something. That's what we were told. We were saying you got to win a little bit more. Let's be real. With the way that you're talking about Jaylen Brown and what he should get for actually elevating his team to winning, with less of his help on the squad,
he still has some good players. Derek White's still an Olympian.
I'm not bringing.
I'm just talking about from a Tyrese Maxey. He's got Andre Drummond, for crying out loud, okay? Come on. No. Paul George has played 14 games. He doesn't have anybody. I'm not saying I'd take him over Cade Cunningham. I'd take Cade Cunningham over everybody in the East, just about. I'm just saying you've got to give Tyrese Maxey his due because of how good of a year he's had.
We're talking about splitting the hairs of all-stars and all-NBA players and things of that nature right now. If the season ended, I'm not putting Tyrese Maxey at the number 1 all-NBA guard spot or 2 or even 3.
Okay, nor am I. Okay?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be up there. I'm just stating the order is something that I would change.
Yeah, I get it. What I'm saying is I think he deserves to have a mention because of how good he has been this year and how much he's been forced to carry a team who knows how many wins they would have if they didn't have him. All right, he's not a well-known guy, so I actually think it's similar. The Philadelphia fight that they may have for him is very similar to what we have with Cade Cunningham. We love Cade Cunningham, and anybody who plays against him understands that too. But from a national perspective, look at the names that you see. It's Antetokounmpo, right? And he's been hurt almost all year long. It's Brunson, who's been really good. I have no problem with Jalen Brunson. Luka Doncic, because of his scoring, and he plays for the Lakers and things of that nature.
Hey, guys, you know that 1 million more people live in Philly than Detroit, right?
Oh, yeah. I know it's fan voting.
Yeah. So it's early. It's early, and the fact is you can stack Maxey's year right next to Cade's. Cade's the number 19 player in 9 CAT efficiency. Maxey's number 4. He has a higher assist-to-turnover ratio. He averages more stocks, hits more threes, shoots better from 3.
Yeah.
Near 90% shooter from the free throw line. My biggest issue with Cade this year is not his turnovers. He's turned them down.
Mm-hmm.
It's his shooting at the free throw line. Like this guy, I know you're focusing on other parts of your game, but there's been crucial moments at the end of games where he's gone and split at the stripe. That can't happen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's unexcusable.
Maxey shooting 89% from the stripe.
Yes.
But K did
Efficiency.
raise the defensive profile this season too, and he's been one of your best defenders on the perimeter all season, and one of your best defenders as a guard at the rim, and one of your best defenders in the paint as a guard too. Those things matter. But at the end of games, if you're going to wear that superstar label, the one thing we knew we could count on, even with guys that didn't have that label like Chauncey and Rip, but we understood how clutch they were, you can't miss those free throws at the end of games. You can't be that guy.
Who do you think the top 10 9-cat efficiency rated players are? I mean, you know it's Joker and SGA.
Yeah.
And Tyrese, we already mentioned.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Kawhi Leonard.
Would not have guessed that.
Number 5, the Alien. Then Luka, Steph Curry.
Really? Luka?
Jalen Johnson absolutely blowing. This is not really on defense. This is more on efficiency and everything.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson, Donovan Mitchell.
I
And
was
then
gonna guess.
Lauri Markkanen. Number 11, Mikal Bridges. And Trey Murphy at 12. Surprisingly enough, Jamal Murray bouncing back huge from a disastrous season last year. He sits at 13.
That's interesting. The Markkanen surprises me too. Yeah,
He's having a career year.
I figured Mitchell would be a little bit higher, but yeah. By the way, Pistons play tonight in L.A. against the Lakers.
Lake Show.
They got to wake up.
It's LeBron James's 41st birthday.
Ooh, you know the NBA is going to take care of him tonight.
You know who else is 41? His coach,
Wow.
J.J. Redick. That tells you something. Did you see what he said about
Performance-enhancing drugs. That's what it tells me.
Did you see what J.J. Redick said about his team before they went after they lost to Houston the other night?
No.
Over the weekend? He said we don't care enough.
Well,
and he's right about that.
That's the problem with that franchise.
Okay. Well, okay, but you mean recently?
Oh, yes.
I mean, the
of course.
franchise, yeah,
Yes.
you win 18 championships. But when he said that, I was listening to it, and I thought to myself, you know what? That's the one thing you don't have to worry about when you watch the Pistons.
No doubt. Amen to that.
Right?
Amen to that.
I mean, you could talk about certain guys and how good they are. You got Doncic, you got James, Austin Reeves is having a career year, blah, 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 blah. But you don't have to worry about J.B. Bickerstaff sitting behind a microphone and saying, my guys aren't professional enough.
No, you're not going to
My
hear that.
guys don't care enough to do things right. That is an indictment on that entire roster, what J.J. Redick said.
And offensively, they're very good. I mean, Austin Reeves having an unbelievable season. In fact, I
he's
think
hurt now, but I mean,
he's number 19 or 24 on the list.
Yeah.
He's averaging 26.5, 5, and 6 with a steal per game, shooting over 500. Listen, those three guys, it'd be tough to ever put up a 3-on-3 team that could beat those three players together.
Mm-hmm.
They're incredible. In terms of getting them to be inspired to play defense, I haven't seen LeBron play inspired defense for 10 years. I mean, he was in a Miami uniform the last time he played inspired defense.
Yeah.
You know what Luka's shoe is named?
What?
El Matador.
Really?
How ridiculous is that?
Is it really?
It really is.
Oh, my God.
El Matador, because
Well, he plays defense like that.
yes, and then you got Austin Reeves.
Remember, I took a lot of heat for saying, I am not a big Luka Doncic fan because I don't think he gives any effort on the defensive side of the floor.
Whatsoever.
And people were all over me saying it doesn't matter. It's a scoring league. It's a shooter's league. Look at all the other things he does
Until a 7-game
offensively.
series pops up.
Yeah, until a 7-game series pops up.
Yes, sir.
And he is constantly negative in the plus-minus. But go ahead.
I just think that those three guys are fantastic offensively, and it'll get them to the second round of the playoffs. But you start going up against a Houston or an OKC or a healthy Joker and the Nuggets, man, they just don't have the defense to get out of a 7-game series.
Yeah. I follow a number of NBA accounts, and this one I ran across yesterday. Larry Bird had and I couldn't stand the Celtics. All right, I mean,
amen.
My wife's family's from Boston, and I remember when the Pistons had him beat before Isaiah threw the pass, and I was dancing, and I didn't see it live. I had to see it on replay, and I was at my wife's house, and my father-in-law, who was very mild-mannered, but it's the only time I saw him get overexcited because I was celebrating way too early. When it went out of bounds and it was Detroit basketball, I was jumping around like, yes, we're going to win this series. I turned back around, there's the steal by Bird, and my father-in-law's going crazy. So it pains me to say this, but I do believe Larry Bird's one of the greatest players of all time.
84, 85 Bird, look it up.
Yeah, so as you mentioned 85. He had a 30-point streak in 85. This is what he had. 37-7, 33-15, 40-9-6, 34 8-5, 45 12 5-5, 35 14-7, 34 30 15-10. All right?
They don't know, Shep.
The next 2 games he scored under 30 points. He followed that up with 32, 60 against the Hawks, 31, 35 and 48.
And you know, the night before, McHale had set the record with 55,
Correct.
right? Or 57?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit more than 55.
57, I believe it.
If you want some entertainment, just for a goof, either Google or go to Twitter and type in, some of the things that past players have said about Larry Bird.
Oh yeah, YouTube, Larry Bird legends stories.
Yeah, the greatest trash talker of all time. And it's not even close. Not even close.
I was a ball boy for that 87 game at the Silverdome, which was the largest indoor basketball game for a few decades. And him and McHale, I think I was 9. I was shocked and appalled at how nasty their mouths were, man. Like, it was just F this and trash talk that. And McHale literally wore out every towel in the Silverdome. That man sweat so much. Just pouring sweat. It was disgusting.
Well, that's what you want.
Another reason to hate that.
You want him working. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to hate the Celtics. All right, last time out, and then we get to some super chats, and we get to the mailbag, and a whole lot more here on the Braylon Edwards Show. But this first from BlackRock.
You know how you start your New Year's Eve? You do it with a great meal, and you do it at BlackRock. Bring the sizzle back into your life. They got a whole new menu, lots of returning favorites, as well as some new ways to sizzle. Listen, guys, they still have the deal on their gift cards. Drop $50, they're going to give you $10 free back. But the best part is, you see it right there in the middle of your screen, you're going to get 20% off your total food bill anytime you mention Woodward Sports. So head on over to BlackRock and start your new year off right.
I don't care if you're going out to eat or you're going to get your hair cut. You want to go to some place that is clean and that has professionals who know what they're doing. That is what Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men is all about. They have professionals who know exactly what they're doing, take your description on how you want your hair cut, and it's a clean environment with TVs for you to watch sports and lovely ladies to have a nice conversation. It's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It is open 7 days a week, 10 till 8. Walk in anytime.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or bust Lions network. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
It is Wicked Pickle. Michigan, I know you are ready for the biggest pickleball event of all time. It is the Woodward Sports Wicked Pickle Open, January 9th through the 11th. And we're kicking things off with a bang. Friday night at 7:30, the Woodward Sports Celebrity Tournament hits the court, and all 4 shows are throwing down, plus local celebs, and it's all broadcast live. Then the real battle begins. 3 days of nonstop pickleball, men's, women's, mixed, and singles divisions. This is where champions are made. Sign up now at pickleballtournaments.com or call Wicked Pickle at 734-331-3451 and go ahead and scan that QR code. If you could take bets, I'm sure Caesars would say bet on Braylon and Shep to win that tournament.
Well, Kool-Aid, you already know, but check it out. You can place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that bet back. Scan
Crazy, man.
This QR code. Enter the code Woodward 1000.
So you telling me if I bet on Braylon and Shep, though, I'm not getting that back because they winning?
They always.
But I will get the pop for winning. Let's rock. I can catch it.
Wait, you're setting us up for every other team
I'll
in this building to want to just fire that pickleball ball right down our throat. Because you keep talking about like we're going to win.
Well, you guys were talking some smack a couple months ago when we first announced this. Or maybe it was Bray.
I've never.
Was it Bray?
I've never talked smack. I've never played
Bray
the
got
sport.
you into this one, buddy.
I have no reason to talk smack. I've never played the sport in my life. I don't even play tennis. I don't play tennis. I used to play racquetball. That's not going to help me.
Ping pong?
Oh, for God's sakes! If I play ping pong with beer in my hand, you think that's helping with pickleball?
I did. You did mention yesterday you're a beer pong guy.
Yeah, I am a beer pong guy.
Yeah. Oh,
that doesn't help me with pickleball. God,
let's go.
All y'all got to do is scan the QR code. Enter the code Woodward 1000. And if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get that deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, one entire stack back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet just $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
We back, and I'm gonna ask the chat too. Like, who's your money on? Which one of these shows?
Well, wait till that gets a little closer. We don't need it today unless you're going to accumulate.
What have it been, 2 weeks?
Yeah, the 9th, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it the 9th? Yeah,
a week from this weekend.
Look, I brought this up during Big D Energy with D-Max, so I'll bring it up to you guys. You know, you guys don't really follow hockey that closely, but there's a kid I want you to keep your eye out for. Okay, I want you to keep your eye out for Macklin Celebrini. He's 19 years old. He plays for San Jose. He was the first overall pick last year. And he played at Boston University. He's only 19. And he's a guy who is on pace to do something only Wayne Gretzky has ever done and Sidney Crosby. He's about to embark on 100 points in 65 games. That's the pace he's on. 100 points in 65 games this year.
Even I know that's impressive.
Wayne Gretzky did it in 61 games. Shows you just how unbelievable. Like, I know a lot of people roll their eyes. He was more dominant in his sport than Michael Jordan was in his, okay? Anyway, in a sport you're not supposed to dominate in. And Sidney Crosby did it in 65 games. And he's the all-time leading scorer, point getter in Pittsburgh history, one of the greatest players of all time.
Is he Canadian or American?
Celebrini?
Yeah.
He's American.
Sweet.
Okay, but think about this. At age 19, he has more 3-plus point games, 10, than no point games, 9.
Wow.
As a 19-year-old. He made a play I was watching the other night. He made a play against Anaheim where he catches up to the puck before the center ice line, bangs it off the wall. A teammate scoops it up, goes rink wide on the right wing. Celebrini was able to turn around, peel back, jump on his toes, go to the net, get the pass from that off wing, and bury it in for a goal. He's third in the league in points. Number 1 is Connor McDavid, greatest player in the world, and then Nathan McKinnon, second greatest player in the world. You talk about generational talent, you talk about fun guys to watch, dude, if you can watch some hockey, watch this kid play because he is awesome.
How's Connor Bedard doing?
He's doing very well in Chicago. Yeah. And by the way, I was wrong. Celebrini's a Canadian. I'm sorry.
Oh, he is? Okay.
He's Canadian. Yeah.
That's okay, man.
played
the North American game is getting assaulted from Europe. So hearing that the best young player is from North America, I don't care if he's Canadian, man.
Well, I would like him to be a Team USA. Connor Bedard's
Sure.
Canadian too. I wish he was a Team USA guy. But they're really fun, and he seems like a guy who's been around forever. Connor Bedard, he's 20. He's only 20 years old. Think about that for a minute.
He had a massive,
and this is his third year.
He had a massive
Must have
$1
felt like a
million
name for
bounty.
a good half a decade.
He had a $1 million bounty on his rookie card 2 years ago.
Did he really?
So like upper
Oh,
deck,
man.
you couldn't keep him in
Yeah.
stock.
Yeah. He's a special player. 61 points his rookie year as an 18-year-old. Then 67, and this year he's almost at 50.
No Eric Lindros, but whatever.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. But Lindros was special. I mean,
Yeah, he was.
it's really fun to watch young I always try to envision myself at that age and thinking, what the hell was I doing then? And instead of doing, keg stands in college, these guys, what are they doing? They're out there making millions of dollars, but they are performing against men. We're talking about guys who are in their late 20s, early 30s, and sometimes into their mid-30s that they're playing against, and they are excelling. It's fun to watch. All right, Kool-Aid, we got some super chats. Fire away.
We do have some super chats. I see Labartney just sent one here. $9.99 super chat, and he says his money is on the heavyweights to have a surprise victory at the pickleball tournament. He says, also, I got some good LeBron stories from both Ohio and Michigan.
I've heard
Do tell.
that the heavyweights are pretty good. That's what I've heard. I
might.
haven't scouted them, and I don't think we necessarily need to. But that's what I've heard.
Let's rock, man. And LeBartney also adds, man, screw LeBron's birthday. This is another $9.99 super chat, so he's on it. He says, mess him up. He doesn't care. He wants him to have the same type of birthday that we allowed Jerry Jones to have last year.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Shout out
I like that.
the love that Labartney's been showering on everybody here at the network, man. We appreciate you big time, brother. Very much so.
And Randall Small sent in actually a couple mock drafts that I'm thinking.
I know. I saw him wanting to make sure we saw him.
I'm thinking maybe we can have some people send in their mock drafts, and at a certain time we can start going over them. Maybe like every Thursday, every Friday, we can go over everybody's mock drafts.
Sure.
That sends them in. So.
Sure, happy to do that.
Yeah.
No
Then
worries.
middle-aged sneaker chick with the $5.
There she is.
The $5 super chat.
One of my
She says,
favorites.
The NCAA didn't want to see it. They just wanted the praise of letting the players get paid. And now it's a crap show. Going back to you guys' conversation on NIL, players that are literally scoring points in the NBA, getting recruited by college teams, and now you got all the gates open.
Amen to that. That's well said.
You got two more.
And appropriate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See him
Somebody
in
said Connor Bedard should have been a Red Wing because he was drafted first overall in
We should have had it that year.
2023. The Red Wings didn't get the right ping pong
No
ball.
lottery luck.
They did get Nate Danielson, and Nate Danielson's been pretty good. I mean, he's not Connor Bedard, okay. Adam Fantilli played at Michigan, very good player for Columbus as well.
Go
so
Blue.
part of that draft. Go ahead.
Hey, shout out, Go Blue. I was like, some of these names I actually heard of before. But Labartney again, $4.99 super chat says, shout out to Shep for highlighting how inept and stupid the NCAA is.
Well, I appreciate that. It's not that hard. They make themselves an easy target. Leadership. We talk about leadership all the time in sports. Isn't it amazing that the NCAA is void of it? They're around some of the greatest leaders. I mean, besides generals on the war, they're around some of the greatest leaders in our history, and they don't learn anything from them. Would it really be that hard to bring in Nick Saban, Tom Izzo, Red Berenson, and just ask them from a leadership standpoint?
I honestly like Saban and a few of those others. They're chomping at the bit to get brought into that room to be able to be heard on how the NCAA moves forward.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Pat McAfee or Jay Billis, who both think that they can run any league that they talk about. I'm talking about true people who have been there, done that, and know what it takes and do what's best for the sport. I believe those guys would have the right intentions. Am I wrong there?
Oh, no, they certainly would, and they have the most intimate knowledge of what needs to happen. They're not going to put everything into play, but there has to be some discourse at this point. I mean, it's really just complaints and problems at this point. And until they sit down and create some sort of a arbitrary table where they're discussing these things, it's just going to continue to get so bad until it's so bad that you have to do something.
They're not problem solvers.
But they will, when they decide to be the problem solvers without what you're talking about being put into place, they will overreact the same way they did a few years ago when they put this in
You're
the first
right.
place.
That's what they do. They go from one extreme to another.
Yep.
You know, it wouldn't be bad to call on those, even let's say you don't want current coaches. That's fair. Then could you not go to Saban? Could you not go to a guy like John Beilein? You know, could you not? I mean, I'm just looking at it from a hockey perspective too. A guy back in the day, Jerry York, maybe Red Berenson recently. These guys know they have navigated the most difficult part of the job, trying to deal with athletes, NIL, donors, sponsors, all those things. They could help.
They would help.
The problem is, and maybe this is a guy thing, there's not enough people out there who are willing to say, can you help me? They want to be able to solve it themselves.
Isn't that the truth?
We were really glad you were able to join us on the Braylon Edwards Show today. We hope you can come
Let
back
me get
tomorrow.
to Dante's final super chat real quick here.
Right
Jalen
ahead.
Brown needs to stop using Just for Men's hair for that bald spot. He just needs to shave it all off. Am I wrong, Kool-Aid?
No, you're not. No, you're
Shout out
not. Just
Dante.
go on ahead, man. Confident in yourself.
Just shout out Dante.
Shave it. You know what's worse though? When Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I mean, either before he shaved his head bald, I mean, that was not a good look. All right, not everyone can look as cool as Michael Jordan with a shaved head or a Harold Miner, but I'm sorry.
Harold Miner, deep cut. I like that.
Not bad for a USC guy. All right, the heavyweights are coming up a little bit later on at 5. We're back with you tomorrow, 2 o'clock here on Woodward Sports. Enjoy the day.
Let's go.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.